Good afternoon again, and welcome to the pre-proposal conference for RFP 18C15 for the design, construction, financing, operation, and maintenance of 27 service areas on the New York State Thruway. My name is Kara Ostrander, and I'm the Director of Customer Relations and the Project Manager. Thank you for coming and for your interest in this exciting project. For your convenience, bathrooms are located through the wood doors to your right. Once again, to log on to Wi-Fi, go into settings, click on Hello Meeting, scroll down. The access code is Red Lion number 2, all one word, and it is not case sensitive. Have my team introduce themselves over here.
Hi everyone, my name is Edna Goldsmith. I'm an assistant counsel at the Thruway Authority, and I've been assisting Kara and the rest of the project team on legal issues associated with the RFP.
My name is Kevin Allen, Director of Purchasing at the New York State Thruway Authority.
Mary Ann Brower, Contract Management Specialist 2 in the Bureau of Purchasing.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Morris. I'm the Senior Architect in the Architectural Design Bureau at Thruway.
Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Novak, Director of Transportation Planning and Environmental Services at the Thruway.
Hi, I'm Daryl Dupuy. I'm in the Office of Traveler Services in Thruway Operations.
Good afternoon, Peter Meehan, the Thruway Finance Department.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Nacarado, Director of Facilities and Code Compliance Management.
Thank you, guys. As one last item here, if you could, as a courtesy to others, please silence your cell phones. As you can see, we have quite the turnout. All of your questions are very important to us, and I want to remind you that all questions asked today will be answered in writing. Per section 1.4 of the RFP, answers may not be immediately available for questions that were submitted prior to the conference or for questions from the floor at today's conference, depending on the nature of the question. Questions received in writing via email prior to the pre-proposal conference and orally during the conference will be added to the official response to written questions. Proposers are advised that only the authority's written responses to questions received at the pre-proposal conference can be relied upon by proposers. Oral responses provided by the authority or its representatives at the pre-proposal conference or otherwise in connection with this RFP will not be binding on the authority and will not change, modify, amend, or waive the requirements of this RFP in any way. Questions responded to orally during the conference will be added to the official response to written questions. For section 1.5 of the RFP, the authority reserves the right to not answer certain questions if it is determined that such questions are not pertinent to this RFP. Prospective proposers should rely only on these official written responses. A copy of today's sign-in sheet will be added to the official responses to written questions. Okay. The New York State Thruway Authority is seeking proposals from experienced and qualified firms to redevelop, operate, and maintain food service operations at the 27 food and fuel facilities located on the New York State Thruway. The New York State Thruway is a 570-mile superhighway system crossing the state and is the longest toll superhighway in the United States. Portfolio of the authority's service areas is a $118+ million per year restaurant and motorist service enterprise comprised of 27 properties immediately accessible from the Thruway. Approximately 250 million trips, accounting for more than 8 billion miles of travel, occur on the entire Thruway system each year. The authority intends to enter into a lease agreement for all 27 service areas that will provide an array of development plans and operational services. The term of the lease agreement will be for 33 years with regard to 16 service areas and 30 years with respect to the remaining 11 service areas. As further described in Appendix B, key terms of lease agreement. Proposers may be a single entity or may be a team. However, a single entity will enter into the lease agreement and serve as the sole point of contact to the authority responsible for all provisions of the services required under the lease agreement. Proposers must propose to provide all contract services described in the RFP. The authority will not accept proposals that do not include the required contract services. The authority will prepare the lease agreement, which must be approved by the New York State Attorney General's Office and the Office of the New York State Comptroller. The purpose of this RFP is to seek proposals for the design, construction, financing, operation, and maintenance of the thruway service areas. The authority is seeking proposals with innovative solutions to modernize, significantly improve the quality and character of the service areas and the services offered to our customers. The authority seeks to upgrade the service area facilities, providing an array of food choices and services that meet the needs of its travelers. The successful proposer will champion the New York State experience and create a sense of place that is an authentic part of the surrounding region. The successful proposer will constantly improve the customer experience in regard to safety and security, authenticity, hospitality, and engagement. The authority also seeks to increase the economic viability of the service area portfolio, which should provide a revenue stream to the authority over time. This project offers a unique and substantial business opportunity with long-term potential to invest and grow. At the same time, the successful proposer will perform an important public service and establish a foundation among millions of visitors as a provider of first-class service area facilities to the thruway. The authority encourages innovative proposals for multiple food concepts and other services and amenities that will assist travelers. Proposers should carefully consider a variety of services, including, but not limited to, services for patrons with disabilities, truck drivers, commuters, vacationers, business travelers, motor coach travelers, recreational vehicle users, pet owners, and children. Proposers should also consider dietary needs of the traveling public. Refer to Exhibit 3 for the Thruway Customer Service Experience Survey Summary. Fuel services on the thruway are excluded from the scope of the contract services requested by this RFP. Fuel services on the thruway will be provided under separate contracts of the authority and sold at the sole discretion of the authority at the existing fuel locations adjacent to current service areas or otherwise. To develop a conceptual plan, the authority started with a variety of food and beverage concepts and services, as well as prototype designs. This effort was guided by what exists today at the service areas, a study of other commercialized rest areas, the results of our survey of thruway users, and services the authority would like to see added or expanded. The authority identified a comprehensive range of potential food, beverage, and retail concepts, customer amenities, and thruway back office requirements that might be considered for main buildings and the surrounding grounds of the service areas. These renderings show 4 redevelopment options for the service areas with different levels of offerings and amenities, ranging from a level 1, requiring it be a limited service area, to a level 3, which requiring a flagship service area that incorporates expanded customer services like farmers markets, tourism kiosks, and amenities for commercial vehicle operators. I'll now begin taking questions from the floor. Please make sure you stand and speak clearly so everyone can hear your question.
Excuse me, Karen, one question.
Hold on, we have a mic coming to you. So that everyone can hear.
Quick question. Is there a separation between Group 1 and Group 2? Or actually, how are the Group 1 and Group 2 service areas separated? So essentially, where is Group 1, where is Group 2 in the service areas?
The current contract.
Yeah. Right now, they're set up as there are two different leases with two
Correct.
different organizations, and just looking for that separation as to, the timing for both of those.
Oh, the timing, okay. I think that
Well, I understand the timing. I
geographically.
understand there's a 2-year offset. I'm wondering like which ones are in the Group 1 and which ones are Group 2.
Okay. Per the RFP, if you refer to Appendix B on page 3, under service areas, the groups, Group 1 and Group 2 are identified.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll ask 2 questions. The first is, can you just talk through your expectation of timing on making a selection and what happens once responses are received? And then 2, maybe just talk through the rationale of separating the fuel stations from the balance of the site and why that decision was made.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm going to address your second question first as to the rationale why we excluded the fuel and addressed the food separately. The fuel contracts right now are in their first renewal term, and our fuel operators have the ability to extend the contract under certain circumstances. So they have an option to renew that they can exercise subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. And if that's the case, the fuel agreements will only end on March 31st, 2027.
And can you repeat your first question again?
Your kind of expectation on timing, making selection after responses are submitted, and I guess if you would just talk generally through how you think the selection process will work after there's submission responses.